Mike Pachelli here. Thanks for tuning in. For this lesson, I'll be talking about the Beatles' recording of Boys that they did in February of 1963. The song was written by Luther Dixon and Wes Farrell in 1960 for the Shirelles, and it was released as the B-side of the Shirelles' single, Will You Love Me Tomorrow? The Beatles chose to do it because they knew no other band would. And originally, John Lennon sang the song live, but there's rumors that it was also given to Pete Best to do in 1962. But that they may be confused because Pete recorded that song in 1965 with his own band, so we'll never know for sure if he did it or not. But it is a fact that it was given to Ringo to sing live because Ringo had already been doing it in Rory Storm and the Hurricanes. So it was easy for him to do as a Beatle. And they did it live from 61 to 64, actually, the Beatles did. And about the song, Paul has said, Ringo always used to do a song in the show. Back then he had Boys. It was a little embarrassing because it went, I'm talking about boys, yeah, yeah, boys. It was a Shirelles hit, and they were girls singing it. But we never thought we should call it Girls, just because Ringo was a boy. We just sang it the way they'd sung it and never considered any implications. February 11th, 1963, the Beatles are at EMI Studios, and that's the day they recorded most of the songs for the Please Please Me album. They record Boys in one take, with the lineup being John on his Rickenbacker 325 and singing background vocals, George on his Gretsch Duojet singing background vocals, Paul on bass and background vocals, and Ringo on drums and singing the lead vocal live. And if you listen closely to the record, it's another song where you can hear Ringo's bass drum squeaking throughout. Of note is it's the only song on the Please Please Me album that's a complete 12-bar blues format. The song was mixed on February 25th, and the Beatles did it 7 additional times for BBC radio shows, including Side by Side, Saturday Club, Pop Go the Beatles, and From Us to You. They did it for 2 different TV shows in December of 63, a show called It's the Beatles, and on October 64 on a show called Shindig. It was released in March of 1963 on the Please Please Me album in the UK, and in January 1964 on an album called Introducing the Beatles in the USA. So that's the backstory. Let's get started. George is playing his Gretsch Duojet on Boys. This is a Gretsch Country Classic, and I've got it going through a 64 Vox AC30. Of note is it's just basically E, A, and B, and they imply 7th chords at times. And George has to do some background singing, so sometimes he lays out and he's playing simple little parts, just jamming on those 3 chords. So I think I'll play you all the parts very slowly, and then you'll see it up to tempo on my sound-alike. And charts and tabs, of course, could make it even clearer. So in the intro, George goes like this. And Ringo begins singing. So on those first 4 measures, George is just pounding the low parts of an E chord, and he goes. Now he has to sing background, so over that A chord, he goes. And then it's to verse 2. On verse 2 at the beginning, again, just playing first a low E and then pounding that low part of an E chord. So verse 2, he goes. And then the chorus. Now on the chorus, George is singing a lot more, so he's playing a lot less. And on the E chord, at first he goes like, it's like 1. And then it's the solo. Now the solo may be, they say it's played live, but it sure sounds like it's punched into me. But anyhow, here's the solo. 1. And again, every indication is that he played that solo live, but to my ear, there's a possibility he may have done that when they, from moving from one tape machine to another, and then as they were bouncing over to another tape machine, he may have overdubbed that. We'll never know for sure. Nevertheless, it's a cool little solo. All right, then on verse 3, continuing on the low E pounding, he goes like this. And then we're to the outro. Again, he's singing quite a bit. So he plays like this on the first part of the outro. He goes, 1. And in the very ending, he's singing again and playing just some simple notes. He plays like this. He goes, 1. And that's on the fade out. Again, charts and tabs at MikePachelli.com will make it clearer than I can play it or say it, but that's George's part on Boys. John Lennon is playing his horribly tiny Rickenbacker 325 through an AC-15. I've got mine going through my Vox AC-30. You'll need a few chords. You'll need a B7. And for the most part, he plays just the low 4 strings. So strum up to the G string. For a B7 and a B7 suspended, A7, suspend that, an E, suspend that, and the 3 notes of a B7. And then he pounds the low part of an E. But he does build up that E on the verse from the playing up to the 3rd string to the 2nd string, right? Yeah. So anyhow, the intro, nice and slow, sounds like this. 3, 4. And then Ringo starts singing. And John plays, just whole notes like. He does get up to the B string for that. Then on the A7, he goes like this. He'll go 3, 4. And pretty much exactly the same on verse 2. So charts and tabs at MikePachelli.com will make it perfectly clear. And on the first chorus, he's kind of just rocking the low notes along with Paul's bass. And it sounds like this. Of note, he gets to that A note, a 8th note before the A chord starts. So then on the A, I'll do that again, going into the A. So it's... And again, of note, from the A to the E on measure, whatever that is, 10, on the A, it's... Those are incidental, but again, charts and tabs will make it perfectly clear if you are as anal retentive as I am. Okay, and then we're on the solo. Keeps rocking it like that. He goes kind of slow. 3, 4. Like that during the solo. On verse 3, rocking those low notes. 3, 4. And on chorus 2, and what we're calling it chorus 2, so really all kind of like verses. He just rocks out again on the last outro, and it goes like this: 3, 4. And he repeats it. Well, he's already out on the fade. Again, charts and tabs at MikePachelli.com will make it perfectly clear, clearer than I can say it or play it, but that's basically John's part on Boys. I have put it together in a sound alike so you can see how both guitar parts fit together, so please have a look at this.
A girl, take a trip around the world. Hey, 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 yeah.
So those are the guitar parts of John and George backing up their dear friend Ringo so he could sing a song on the Please Please Me album. I suggest you download the charts and tabs at MikePachelli.com, learn both parts, play along with my sound-alike, and you'll get it just like the Beatles. And I really appreciate your consideration in supporting my work that way. And if you haven't, please subscribe to my YouTube channel because that moves me up in the YouTube queue and allows more people to see my work. So have fun playing this good old rocker. And until next time, I'm Mike Pachelli. Thanks for hanging out with me.